Well, I didn't think you had it in you.
Are we doing this right now? I'm your Huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't. And this time, it's legal.
All right, Longer. Let's do it.
Say when. Come on. Come on. Oh, Johnny. Johnny, you're no Daisy. You're no Daisy at all. Poor soul. You were just too high strung. I'm afraid the strain was more than he could bear. And the Academy Award goes to... Yeah. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Absolutely.
Absolute legend.
That was Tombstone, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the We'll See You Later podcast, brought to you by Happy's Energy and Nutrition, the best energy and nutrition on the entire planet. My name is Willie Ray, and this is episode 48.
And my name is Jeremy. We cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in. Will, I was given a gift the other day.
Oh.
By a customer that comes into Happy's.
Don't we love those customers? Like the customers that show up and they become part of the family. That's what happens here at Happy's. Y'all should come.
He comes in and we're talking ball, and he's a professional guy, and I'm a college guy, and I'm trying to transition him in. He went back to his store and said, I got something hanging up, and I bought it years and years and years ago to be signed. Never got it signed. I think you would appreciate it on the podcast possibly more than I would right now. And I told him if we get it signed, I'll give it back. Because that's what he wanted.
That means if I like it, we're not getting it signed because I'm keeping it.
Here you go, brother. Look what he gave me. There's a matching set in the back of this picture.
Okay. Shut up, man. Shut up, man.
Explain it.
Look here. This is the both Sports Illustrated photos from the 1994 season where Arkansas won the national championship. So huge. So pro. Look, we got Corliss Williamson here, and then we got the GOAT, Nolan Richardson here. Oh, my God, dude. Like, if I had this, I'm not giving it away.
Right. And then on the back, you have two more editions to be signed.
Oh, my gosh, man. So these are the actual editions?
Yeah.
How pro is that? I'm geeking out here, guys.
Isn't that awesome?
I am geeking out.
Thank you, Garrett. Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett. VIP status anytime you want. Come on the podcast, man.
So we got to hang this up somewhere on your side. We got to figure it out.
We got a nice little space right here.
Yeah. And we're redecorating. Jordan, guys, if you don't know, Jordan is moving to Atlanta. So Will is becoming our permanent co-host. You're stuck with him.
Yeah, that's been a thing, but we haven't really said it out loud. So actually that was kind of cool because that's the first time I've ever had him tell me that I was hired. I might cry.
He is hired.
It's all because of you people.
So Will, whenever Jordan grabs some of his stuff as he's sadly moving.
That's going right behind me.
It can go wherever you want.
That's going right behind me. Thanks, Garrett.
Yep.
That's not getting signed, dude. We're keeping it. We're keeping it.
Do you have something like that at home?
I have nothing that epic. I have a lot of memorabilia. I grew up on the sideline at War Memorial Stadium. Every male on my dad's side of the family pretty much is a Little Rock police officer.
Right.
And I grew up in the passenger seat of a police car escorting the team for the Little Rock games. So I was always in the locker room growing up. I've got some pretty cool stuff. My first hero, also, congratulations to one of the newest members of the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, quarterback Clint Sterner.
Hell yeah.
He was my original hero. Let me give props to Clint. Since 1998, he's had to put up with a lot of shit. He owned it like a man up there during his speech. And it really, really shows you pull for the man. Clint Sterner's a good dude, man.
Yeah, he is.
And one of the best quarterbacks we've ever had. And everybody understands if that play goes different, he's remembered different throughout college football.
Yes, sir.
But it's also given him a path through life where he shows that he's able to stand up and fight through it.
Yeah, yes.
And I don't know. I love that 98 team. I love the 99 team that when Tennessee came back, we got them.
Yeah.
tore down the goalpost, ran that bitch down Dixon Street. You know, that was as a
9-year-old,
9 or 10-year-old. That was my first time on Dixon Street, and I didn't realize what the hell was happening. Now I realize that I was in the middle of a full-fledged party. Yeah, it was wild. And then to go to the Cotton Bowl that next year and beat the piss out of Texas was fun.
Yeah.
Especially for Clint being a Baytown, Texas guy that wasn't recruited by the University of Texas. That was really big personally for him.
Yeah.
So props to Clint. 1-4, I love you. We're good buddies nowadays. We have been for years, but I lived a really cool life pertaining to Arkansas sports. For those of you guys that don't know, I was born with cerebral palsy. And when I had my first really big surgery at the time, it was very guinea pig. Like they didn't know if it was going to work. Now, fast forward 30, however many years, it's an orthoscopic surgery. It's outpatient. You get it and you go straight home. They do it with some kind of laser where it's not invasive at all. It was barbaric back in those days. They filleted me and I spent like 2 weeks in the hospital. But it eventually was what led me to walk independently. Well, the only way to make that happen was to get up and walk around. I didn't want to do it. It hurt. And my motivation to get up and walk was my dad saying, hey, if you're walking by next football season, you can go to the games with me, your grandpa, and your uncles, and you don't have to stay home anymore. Ipso facto, Razorback athletics are kind of why I stand in front of people nowadays. It's a curse, but it's my way of life. I talk about all the time. I really wish that you guys would have moved to Tuscaloosa, Alabama before this happened, and then maybe I'd be part of that little wagon that's been going on for the last 10 or 15 years. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I bleed red for a reason. I'm a Razorback.
That's right. We're on the Titanic, Will. We just got to enjoy it before we hit the iceberg.
Iceberg dead ahead, dog. Iceberg dead ahead.
In almost every sport. But one day we're going to miss it. One day.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking to two guys that in 2018 at the College World Series that we won't talk about, Jeremy and I jumped in the truck after Arkansas won game 1 of the series. We realized we're driving all night to get to game 2. They're not about to win a national championship and us not be there. We drove all night, slept on the floor of a hotel.
Yeah.
And it was
y'all dropped me off in line and I laid down in line.
Yeah.
And took a nap on the concrete while y'all went and got lunch.
It was 112.
Yeah.
I mean, that sun in Nebraska, nobody tells you about it, but it's different.
Yeah.
And trip home. This is why we push so hard for it. We have to get back there.
We do.
And now that we've got a podcast, we've got big plans if Arkansas gets back there.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
If they get back there. Now, these past couple of weeks, not been what we wanted. Don't hit the panic button yet, though.
Yeah, don't hit it yet. With summer just around the corner, I'm sure you have some health and nutrition goals. Let us here at Happy's Energy and Nutrition meet those goals with you. We do protein shakes at 200 calories, 24 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar, and they taste like ice cream, so you're cheating without cheating. We also do energy drinks. You see me drinking them every single day on the podcast, loaded with B vitamins, some caffeine, and we use aloe, no sugars. It is absolutely delicious. They are a great meal replacement, energy replacement supplement for you. Come visit us at 11321 West Markham, Suite 1, right next to Wingstop in Little Rock. We're open 7 to 2 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. That's Happy's Energy and Nutrition on West Markham. We have a couple Willie Portal pops that we want to talk about that is not going to go our way per se, but possibly can lead to something else. Willie Portal's up to date.
So if you're an Arkansas basketball fan, you know by now the 5-star freshman that they were recruiting heavily, Nate Ament, has chosen the University of Tennessee. And yeah, that stings because he's in the same conference, but I'm hearing it was like a $4 million.
Yeah, we couldn't do that.
Guys, we've got 2 McDonald's All-Americans coming in already. Why would we pay $4 million for another freshman? I think they sold him hard on the fact that Rick Barnes coached Kevin Durant at Texas, because when you watch Nate Ament play, it's literally a college Kevin Durant. But my thing is, Rick Barnes had the actual Kevin Durant and never won a championship with him. So, he can go to Tennessee. He's going to be the man. He'll have to be with a $4 million NIL deal. But, look, Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas are elite freshmen as well that didn't come here to see another guy get $4 million. And that millions of dollars that we saved by going to Tennessee can be spent on hitting the portal and getting what you need.
Who's out there, Willie Ray? Someone hit the portal the other day.
Let me go ahead and tell you guys right now.
There's a name floating, Will.
I already had to go back and scrub my Twitter when John Calipari got hired at Arkansas. So we've backtracked enough. We might as well go get the most hated guy in college basketball, Chad Baker-Mazara from Auburn.
Yes, I hated him.
Everybody does. That's not in the locker room with him. You hear him talk about his teammates love him. But here's the thing, guys. If you're going to go full villain, go full villain. We got John Calipari. We're already going to be hated. Embrace it. I want this to happen so bad. Yeah, did I dislike the kid? Yeah, and that's why I want him. I want to be the bad guys, not to mention the fact that he is a sniper.
Oh, he can shoot.
He's a bad shot taker, but he's a bad shot maker as well.
For those of you who don't know, he is the guy that Big Z got into it, got teed up in the game. Then he turned around and smiled at the bench and at John Calipari when he buried a three at Auburn and he got teed up. That's the guy we're talking about. The guy you probably, when you watch that game, you're like, man, that dude's a douchebag. That's him.
You want him on your team.
Yeah.
You want him on your team.
Will texted me and said it best. I hate him, but I'll get over it.
Come home. Come home. If we're going to do this one more, like the one thing Arkansas is missing is a sniper. This guy and the doggedness that he would bring to your locker room.
Yeah.
This needs to happen.
Yeah. This guy's a pure shooter. I mean, this is the equivalent of last year going and getting like a John L. Davis, but 25 and way more aggressive.
And yeah, I mean, fresh off a Final Four run.
Yeah.
And that means everything to Cal. If we're going to go get guys out of the portal, I want guys with tournament experience.
Right.
I want guys, older guys, to pair with the freshmen that he is inevitably going to recruit every year.
Yeah, he's already said that.
Some guys have sworn off recruiting high school. I don't think that's the way to go, but I do think that you win in March with older guards.
And this is the number one guy.
And he's an older guard, and then you're getting back DJ Wagner. That's an older guard. Billy Richmond has been in college for a year. I think in today's environment, you can call that an older guard. You win in college with experience at the guard position, and then dudes down low that rebound. That's how you win.
And we got those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully, I hope he gets really good testing, but I'm hoping Carter Knox.
This was clearly, hey, what do I need? This is clearly get my grade back and find out what I need to work on in order to become a first round pick.
Brazil did that.
Yeah. Every fringe kid needs to test the waters. If you're a fringe NBA draft pick and you've got leverage of coming back to college, you need to do that.
Yeah.
To find out from the scouts what you need to improve on. Props to Cal for saying that's what he should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter Knox will be back in Razorback red. I'm willing to stake it all on that. It makes sense for him to go through this process. I'm surprised he's the only one doing it, honestly. Trevin Brazil to do it, but have we talked about the all-in video? Man, did that fire you up?
That was incredible.
What?
That all-in video was sick. To see those guys, and he said, I just met with the team, and there is a team this year.
Which, for those of you that don't understand, is a play on his introductory press conference at this time last year, where he quipped that he just met with a team. There is no team, meaning everybody was in the portal except for Lawson Blake. And I met with Lawson Blake. He's the only one. And then when it shows guys that are coming back and everybody's saying I'm all in, we got the confirmation of the return of Trevin Brazil, DJ Wagner, Billy Richmond, and then they threw in Kareem Archall, the transfer from Lithuania, and then who else did we get? The two freshmen, Acuff and Thomas,
and our two bigs that we just picked up,
which they weren't in the video because they're technically not returning or income. They're transfers. There were highlights in there of Nick Pringle and Malik Ewan. There were highlights in there. But look, if Cal likes this squad, I like this squad. Let's roll. He made a point of saying, we're not done. We've got a couple more. I've said it for 2 or 3 weeks now. You got the best recruiter in the history of college basketball. Let it play out.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have Arkansas in the top 10 without having any idea what the roster was going to look like. These projections had them in the top 10 before we got that all-in video. They just knew the guy in charge is going to have them a squad.
Yep.
So it's a good time to be alive if you're a Razorback basketball fan. And if you're a Razorback fan who's not a basketball fan, what the hell are you doing? You are living in the golden age, man. Wake up.
Yeah.
This is what our parents had to feel like in the 90s.
Yes. I mean, first year, no team put together with bubble gum and duct tape made it to the Sweet 16 with their best 2 players out.
Yeah.
Like,
rest assured,
we're going to be okay.
he has overcorrected. I think he feels like we got bullied on the boards at times this year when games mattered. We just got bullied rebounding the ball. He fixed that problem already. You're not going out physical Nick Pringle. You're not going out physical Malik Ewan. I know when you see it, it's a bunch of offensive highlights, but I feel he rebounds his ass off too.
And I think with them, one of them in the paint on the opposite of them, Brazil as well.
Brazil's always been a great rebounder, in particular when he's got a fire lit under his ass. And that seemed to be what happened toward the second half of, like, I think he just needed to be needed. I think there was too much Big Z and not enough Trevor Brazil.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think they're done with Big Z either.
I don't either. For some reason, I think there's a big out there.
I'm looking at Onyenso, the 7-footer that played for Cal at Kentucky and played last year for Kansas State. If you look at his stats as far as minutes per game, points per game, stats, just like the bare bone stats, you're not going to see much that blows you away. But what you are going to see is 7 foot 245 and a absolute bruiser.
Yeah.
Which the more you have of those, the less apt you are to run out of bodies in a tournament situation.
Right.
I just call it. I need brick shit houses. I need guys that are hard to move. I don't mean to harp on this, but there's a 7-foot white dude who went to Illinois just recently from Arkansas who could shoot it a little bit, but he got moved around way too much. He was easily a liability in the post, a liability when you get somebody who's got any kind of strength, they can just bully Big Z. That's not going to happen anymore with this team. I would like to see Onyenso added to go with Pringle and Ewing and a Brazil. That would take care of your bigs. And then you add a Baker Mazzaro or somebody who is a sniper, and then you're done. Roll the ball out. Let's go.
Hold on. There's a guy that I was looking at. All right. You're looking at him. I'm thinking of this guy named Mustafa Thiam.
Big old dude.
From UCF.
Big old mean looking sucker too.
Freshman, 7'2", 240, averaged 10 and 7 at UCF.
Don't get it twisted.
He's in the portal. That's who I'm looking at.
I only brought up Onyenso because he had
ties.
He has prior relationships, and that means something to Cal.
I saw him hit the portal. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
That's my guy that I would love to see.
Either one of them would be fantastic.
Huge.
You just need one more big body. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite co-host from the We'll See You Later podcast. This is Willie Ray. This episode of We'll See You Later was brought to you by our friends at Foul Play Golf. Founded by Arkansas native Grant Roberts, Foul Play Golf is a burgeoning apparel company meant for those of us who will never break 100 on the golf course. That's me, and don't be ashamed. I know it's you too. Above average apparel for the below average golfer. Jeremy and I have already placed orders. You can too by visiting their website at www.foulplaygolf.com. That's www.foulplaygolf.com. Foul Play Golf, where we break rules, not par.
We are hopping over to not a touchy subject for me and you, but a very touchy subject for some Hog fans who are scared to death, Will. We've lost two series in a row.
They're not even scared to death. The ones that are online complaining right now have been waiting on this all season.
Yes.
They love it.
So Hogs at home, Texas A&M, hottest team in the conference, comes into Arkansas. They've won 8 straight games.
We told you guys they're preseason number 1, and they're figuring out they're really good.
They come in, beat us in game 1. And then we have to preference. This is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday setup that ended up being a Thursday, Friday setup.
Right. So
which crammed it together.
Your guys that started game 3 of the series on a Friday night got 2 days cut off of their usual rest. Because usually they'll go Sunday to Sunday. They went Sunday to Friday. There's 2 days cut off of their rest. And Landon Bottle Cheese in game 3 looked great.
Yeah.
So, we're not even going to talk about the tangibles because I think this was just 2 good teams going at it. If we were going to win the series, we really needed to win on Thursday. We needed to win game 1.
Yeah.
Because Friday became a doubleheader, and doubleheaders are like made to be split. More often than not, when it's 2 good teams, you're not going to win 2 games with a doubleheader. One thing I'd like to say to DVH, and I realize that these are college age kids, and I'm a 35-year-old man, and it may look like I'm hating. I don't care. DVH, I love you, pal. You're the GOAT. You're probably my favorite Arkansas coach of my lifetime. This needs to be the last time that I'm reminded that Rocco Pepe plays for my baseball team.
Will is not a fan.
This needs to be the last time that I see Rocco Pepe's name anywhere near the lineup. What has he done to show you that he needs to play at all?
He gets hit a lot.
I wonder why that is. Could it be because he's a little bit of a rockhead and can't get out of the way?
I think so.
Man, I understand that you got to get right-handed bats in there because, like, the split for this kid in the first game of the doubleheader was like left-handers are hitting like 180 and then the right-handers are hitting like 260.
Right.
Like you've got to make a switch to a right-handed bat. Why's it got to be that right-handed bat?
Yeah.
Now I know it hurts because Nolan Souza getting hurt was
that's a big one.
That puts you in a position where you have to start a freshman now. Gabe Frazier's not a regular freshman.
No,
he's really good. Just don't put me through Rocco Pepe ever again for the rest of the year.
So Hogs do lose 2 games at home to A&M.
Can I say that I did see some intangible stuff that worried me? Like that, not worried me, but this is the first time that I felt like Arkansas kind of got punched in the mouth and stuff got hard, and they took it.
They did. They didn't.
They didn't punch back. They just kind of rolled over and took it.
I will say that I thought 3 guys attempted to fight on this lineup. I want to give these 3 dudes had a really solid weekend that will be overshadowed. Of course, the one and only Vahiva Aloy, possibly the best player.
Yeah, let's start getting this guy. Let's start getting this guy some serious consideration for the Golden Spike.
Yes,
I mean he is that good.
They had him projected as a top 10 pick right now, folks.
He makes unbelievable defensive plays on the regular now. And, I mean, the bat speaks for itself. That he might very well be the best player in college baseball.
Yes.
He clearly is the best all-around shortstop when you talk about defense paired with offense. Any talk that he can't play shortstop at the big leagues is stupid.
Yeah. One Chuck Davalon had a good series.
Had a really good series.
Played great. I mean,
continues to be the stalwart guy at the top of that lineup. And
that's a 1-2 punch right there.
The obvious third one is Kahil Aloy.
It is.
And, I mean, I don't know what to say other than I am very, very thankful for Mr. and Mrs. Aloy. And I hope that they have 7 others just like them.
Yeah, that
because
right there.
These kids are monsters.
Yes. I want to give some. There is a 4th. It just hit me, who had a really good weekend for where he has been. Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas is
had a really good weekend, especially in the sticks.
Let's just call it what it is. When he's going, he's the best 9-hole hitter in America. You can't ask for a better one.
He got it going this week.
I think that the plug was pulled too quick on Justin Thomas at times after the weekend he had at Georgia. I think that was just a guy, like, he came from Georgia. I think that was a guy that was just pressing too much.
Yeah.
And
the one that I'm confused. I'm a big fan. I'm just watching him. I'm not frustrated with him at all. I'm confused. Brent Iredale, stud.
Hey man, you good?
It's just between the ears. He went 0 for 20. And then he did get a couple hits this weekend, but he looked so uncomfortable in the batter's box. We talked about it.
Jeremy, everything looks defensive.
It moved over to the field, and now defensively, he just looks uncomfortable on a baseball diamond right now.
For the first time all year, I saw a Razorback player. First of all, Razorback players haven't struggled that much offensively all year. This kind of stretch was coming. I would rather it come now.
Yeah.
But I saw a player who took his offensive struggles out to the field where he's made 2 errors all season and then made 2 errors, one pretty much right after another that led to a couple runs, and it ended up being the margin of victory for A&M in game 1. Look, Brent, you got to settle down, man. You're watching a guy who is just every swing looks defensive. He's late on the fastball, and that's what's Kurt telling this whole thing is he's late on the fastball, and that tells me he's questioning himself.
Yeah.
Whereas at earlier points in the year, he just be like, this is a fastball count. I'm letting it fly. If I get one, I'll run into it. It seems like he's questioning himself and fighting. Like everything looks like he's fighting it off.
Yeah.
Even if his pitch is right down the middle, if it's a fastball right down the middle, if he's not taking it, which is frustrating enough, which means he's guessing breaking ball and getting fastball. And I mean, the amount of times he's just looked at a fastball right down the middle, he's always been choicey because he's got a good eye. He's not afraid to walk. But at times, I think when he struggles, you're seeing what DVA's kind of alluded to, that at times he's too choicey.
Yeah.
Let it go, man. This is why hitting coaches get paid. You've got to find a way to get him out of it. And look, he was only hitting 220 in SEC play.
Yeah.
But at least you had the capability of him running into one. this has looked like he's not trusting his eyes. Let her fly.
Real quick, we're going to give you guys the top 25 where we're at, and then we're going to hop into this weekend's game. We've got 2 against UALR this week. Not really going into that. We're going into the series. But D1 baseball comes out with the top 25. Texas stays at 1. Clemson bumps up to 2. Oregon State 3. Florida State 4. Arkansas 5. Tennessee 6. LSU 7. North Carolina 8. Vandy 9. Georgia 10. Now, SEC, that's still in the top 25. You have Auburn at the 11 spot, Oklahoma at 14, Alabama dropped to 18, Ole Miss 23.
I'm going to go ahead and say this now. You think D1 baseball likes Arkansas because they treat us like a team that they realize how good we are.
Right.
And this is not really hitting the skids, guys. Like, it's just not. It's frustrating, I know, but that A&M team is going to get into the postseason and probably go to Omaha, because they've got the makeup of a preseason number 1 and they're playing well at the right time. And they think that they can beat anybody, and they have the talent to do that. They're going to ruin somebody's season. Now, if you look at the top 4 ahead of Arkansas, the only one that I truly think has a chance to be better than Arkansas is Texas. Arkansas is clearly better than Clemson. They're clearly better than Oregon State, and they're clearly better than Florida State. I will go to my grave saying that. This Arkansas team is one of the top 2 teams in the country. They've hit a skid. You guys are acting like the sky is falling, and they're in the top 5. Let me just ask you, because what you didn't go into was who was at 12. Okay, so if the postseason started right now and it went off of what D1 baseball has, Arkansas is the 5 seed, correct? The 5 seed would play the 12 and would be paired up with the 12 in a super regional. Has anybody looked to see who the 12 seed is in that super that we would be paired with? It's UC Irvine.
I'll take that 10 days out of the week.
If you're trying to tell me that the 1 seed, the host out of the bracket that we would be paired with, is UC Irvine to get to Omaha, everything's going to be fine, guys. Everything's going to be all right. Now, we could play ourselves out of a national seed these last few weeks because we all know the gauntlet coming these last few weeks. But this is where you earn your money. It's put up or shut up. And we will come and shoot you straight every week.
Yeah. Something has to be done this week unless we plan on going on a crazy hot streak.
Right.
Because you've got Florida, who is at Florida. Weakest team on the schedule.
We're going to Gainesville. Florida's been playing better as of late, but they've had a down year. Arkansas is clearly better than Florida. This is gut check right here. Go on the road and take care of business. Win a series. Put yourselves in a position to maybe sweep.
Next week is at home, number 1 Texas. Then we have LSU. I think it's at LSU, and then we have Tennessee at home.
At home, yeah.
So we have away, home, and the other 3 squads we're playing is number 1, 6, and 7.
Yeah, you got to get one this week.
So Florida is 27-15, 6-12 in conference. Their conference, they've been swept by Vandy and Georgia at home. They got swept by Tennessee at Tennessee. They've lost 2-1 to Ole Miss at Ole Miss. They have swept Missouri. So there's half of their wins.
Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Then they won 2 at Mississippi State. So their 6 wins are 3 against Missouri, 2 against Mississippi State, and 1 against Ole Miss.
That tells me they don't win series against good teams. That's just what this is. They don't win series against good teams. And I love seeing that they're no strangers to being swept in their own ballpark.
Yeah, Georgia and Vandy.
I love seeing that. If Arkansas shows up motivated, which they damn sure should, if Arkansas shows up motivated, they win this series. They put themselves in a position to sweep.
Yeah, they do have some good guys here. All right. There's some guys here to watch out for.
There's talent on that team.
I've got 4 guys that are pretty solid on this lineup. I've got a junior shortstop, Colby Shelton, batting .371, 7 home runs, 33 RBIs.
He was preseason one of the best shortstops in the SEC.
I got a Brody Donye, junior DH, batting .352, 12 homers, 28 RBIs. Their third baseman, Bobby Bozer, .325, 14 home runs, 44 RBIs.
Damn, have a year.
And then their freshman, Brendan Lawson, first baseman.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Batting .324, 8 home runs, 44 RBIs.
Yeah, he's a stud. For a freshman, he's a stud.
So those are 4 guys, all infielders and DHs that they can swing it. Here's where they're not horrible numbers minus their Sunday, but I've looked at last week's Friday, Saturday, Sunday guys just to see maybe they're going to start those guys again. Liam Peterson, was their Friday guy last week. He is 6-2 overall, 6'5" sophomore, 3.74 ERA. Only given up 4 home runs this year. Saturday is Aiden King. He's 4-1. He's a 6'2 freshman, 6.3 ERA. Only given up 2 home runs this year. And then Sunday guy is Luke McNeely. He is 3-2. He's a sophomore, 5.65 ERA, giving up 6 home runs.
That's not bad for a Sunday guy.
So I got some pretty decent pitching. They just haven't put it all together.
Right. They haven't put it all together, and I need them to put it off for one more weekend.
Exactly.
Put it off for one more weekend.
You know what would fix all these people panicking this week, Will?
Go on the road and get a sweep.
A sweep. Get your brooms out.
Go on the road and get a sweep.
At least go 2.
And then the ones who are bitching, we'll talk about how bad Florida is and that it doesn't really matter. Look, I wonder about these people for a lot of reasons, but one thing I want to bring and just ask them: when you're wrong, which judging by your takes, you're wrong a lot. When you find out that you're wrong, does it cross your mind that, damn, I got that wrong? Or do you just
find something else?
Or do you just wait for the next opportunity to bitch?
I think they will.
Are you that guy in Major League 2 that's sitting in the stands going, so what? They'll blow it in the playoffs. Like, yeah, I'm guessing you're that guy. You don't go back and go, like, for those people who say it's just proof that this team doesn't have what it takes to make it to Omaha. Okay. So a month from now, if and when we punch our ticket to Omaha, will all you guys think to yourself, damn, I was wrong?
No, I don't think they have that.
No, they'll go, so what? They'll just blow it. They'll just blow it in Omaha. Y'all are miserable, man. And like, here's the thing. We give you too much time. You don't know your ass from a hole in the ground.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's frustrating because I used to try to defend, but you can't defend against stupid.
The worst thing that you can do is feed into it. The worst thing that you can do is say, look, y'all are morons, because they want that attention. And I know that's what we just did, but I'm talking more of like getting into the comment section and going back and forth with these trolls. I've seen Dave Van Choke. Which, by the way, that's not clever. That's stupid. But like, I've seen all sorts of stuff where it's like, we lost 2 SEC series and everybody acts like that should never happen. Losing 2 SEC series to a top 10 team and then a preseason number 1 that's playing well. And these guys are thinking, well, look, the intangible stuff is more like on my list of things that need to get worked out. It has nothing to do with baseball skill. I want to see fight 1 through 9.
That's it.
Like, that's it.
And then if they beat us, they beat us.
Because I think if we show fight 1 through 9, you can't beat us.
Right.
And I think we had one team that's fighting for their postseason lives and can't afford to feel sorry for themselves and is enjoying playing well, but they know that they have to win, and playing against a number 2 team in the country at the time at their place is a big opportunity for RPI. And I think we had 2 teams that were playing 3 games in about 28 hours, and one team that's fighting for their lives and the other team that kind of got tired and said, I don't feel like it today.
Right.
That's just kind of what I got from it.
And maybe that's a slap in the face for this weekend. They turn it back on.
You have to, like, if we come back on here and we played like crap in Gainesville, my tone may be different.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if we go down there and we lose this series, you can't say we're out of it.
I'm going to go ahead and bet on this team because I know how good they are.
Did that last hailstorm damage your vehicle? Don't stress no more. Our friends at Finished Dentless Hail Repairs got you covered. Up to $500 off your deductible. Give them a call at 501-422-4161. That is Finished Dentless Hail Repair out of Little Rock, and let them know that the We'll See You Later podcast sent you. We'll go real quick, Will. Something happened this weekend. Big event. We're fans. Maybe you guys are too. Maybe you're not. Maybe we can get you back into it. WrestleMania.
Card. We can't go all the way down that card. But what we can say is if you get a chance, watch the main event from night 1.
Unbelievable.
And just revel in the greatness that is Paul Heyman. Just first of all, the match, the triple threat with Rollins, Reigns, and CM Punk this gets thrown around a bunch. That was a 5-star match.
A 5-star.
These guys beat the hell out of each other. There were false finishes at just the right times. They were committed, 3 guys that were committed to having the best match that you could possibly have. You had just the right amount of physicality, just the right amount of kind of psychological stuff. But Paul Heyman is professional wrestling.
Yes.
I posted this. Paul Heyman's the greatest to ever do this.
Yeah.
As far as a guy that will just, we laid this out on the phone with each other before night 1 started. You know, humble brag is what this is going to sound like, but I have a witness. I laid out the finish exactly the way that it happened.
I think a lot of people did, because me and Jordan were talking about it, and we said this same thing.
I laid out the finish exactly the way that it happened, that it had to be Paul Heyman turning on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns and siding with Seth Rollins, because that's the one guy in this match that we hadn't seen Paul Heyman aligned with.
And get a big push.
Seth is one of the best workers in the world, a guy kind of stale, and has been pushing this whole thing where I know what's best for the company. I want to save this thing. So he needs that magic dust sprinkled on him that is a Paul Heyman alliance. Because if you're trying to get to the next level, Roman Reigns was incapable of getting over. Like, people need to realize this. 5-6 years ago, that dude could not get over. Now, I think a lot of that had to do with the current booking philosophy that's not there anymore. Wink, wink. But this guy was getting booed out of buildings. Could not get over. They finally turned him heel and put him with Heyman. He's been box office ever since. CM Punk's best years, Paul Heyman.
Yep.
So he was the first Paul Heyman guy. Nobody liked CM Punk. Paul Heyman was the first one to say, I'll die on the sword for this guy. He's going to be a star. So his best years were with Paul Heyman. When they say they're best friends, that's legit.
Yeah, they are.
So now you're giving that push to Seth Rollins. We're about to see Seth freaking Rollins take over the world.
Yeah, and he deserves it. I mean, when Cody came back, Seth gave up a loss at WrestleMania. Then he turned around and he gave up his title to McIntyre. He gave up for the Cody Rhodes storyline. He's given up so much.
It's basically time for Seth to stop worrying about everybody else and go get yours.
Yes, and I think that was the right move. They did great. Now, real briefly, night 2 was the opposite of kind of night 1. Not saying night 1 was bad, and it got better throughout the night.
And
night 1
ended epically.
Right.
It left you going, I can't wait till tomorrow. I actually said that on the phone with you. I can't wait till tomorrow.
And night 2 was a great card.
It had me thinking this is going to go down in the history books. Like, it had me thinking, because every match on night 2 the women's match was a banger. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest beat each other to death. It was great. You had the fatal 4-way for the IC title. That was the biggest pop of the night. Dirty Dom.
I can't believe that.
How far has this kid come?
Unbelievable.
Where it's like
the crowd flipped so fast in the best way.
Fans recognize how good how hard he has worked. When it started trending that way, I'm thinking, you can't tease Dom winning this thing and it not happen, because if it does, the roof's going to come off that place.
And it did.
And it did. Props to Dominic Mysterio.
And you had the women's tag titles.
That was a predictable return. Becky Lynch returns. Now, I'm going to say on behalf of Bayley, because this was a kayfabe injury that got her taken off of WrestleMania. It wasn't real. They just wrote her off and brought back Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch might be a bigger star than Bayley, not to the point where Bayley needs to be written off WrestleMania with no return. Like, there needs to be a huge heel turn for Bayley where we get payback for what she's doing. She's been like, that's the ultimate company move.
Did they ever say who attacked her?
No.
What if it was Becky?
Okay, well, that's what I mean. This kind of stuff needs to. I'm just saying it needs to pay off huge for Bayley in the end, because you wrote her off WrestleMania.
Yep, and then it slowly declined. AJ Styles and Logan Paul was a good match. I
can't get into it.
Yeah, the chemistry was not there, and then the finish. We're not even going to go into it because we're so pissed off a little bit about how it was finished. I'm not mad that John Cena won. I'm so happy he did and got 17, and even the way he did it.
You mean to tell me that after all this buildup, after all, you sold your soul to The Rock? You sold your soul to who?
The Rock.
Who? I don't know who that is. Because we haven't seen hide or hair of him since March 1st. He drops this bomb that John Cena turns heel, and we don't see hide or hair of this guy from that point till now. It's okay, because everybody knows he's going to show up at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, and become the champ. He's going to help him.
And then we get the music comes on, and we're thinking, okay, like everybody in that place thought when music came on, okay, here's The Rock.
Yeah, Travis Scott's going to come out. And The Rock comes out right behind him.
We get Travis Scott with a belt that looks like he bought it from the Fanatic shop.
That he put tape on that says hardcore.
Walking down to the ring like he's gosh damn Godzilla.
Took him 8 minutes to get to the ring.
And then
He's 145 pound, folks.
Like Billy Badass walking down to the ring, he weighs 140 pounds soaking wet. This is how we main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Travis Scott interfering, not even interfering, just getting his ass whipped.
Right.
Travis Scott taking a crossroads and a distraction is what caused this to like, okay, let's skip all that because the ending is the ending.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the bigger picture. Dwayne, where you at? Where you at, Dwayne? As CM Punk called you bald fraud.
Yeah.
Where are you at? How can you start something that is the focal point of the main event of WrestleMania?
Yeah. And
then not show up to cash out and give us the payoff? What the hell were you doing? Making Moana 7? What were you doing?
He was in Maui.
What was more important than that?
Jumanji 5.
What was more? Well, I'll tell you what you were doing. You were doing whatever you would rather do.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So Rock, if he's in it, I'm there. But it's always been since he's returned this. What's going to pay me more?
It's a cash grab.
He's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and it's his way.
This dude doesn't give a shit about the business
or the fans.
If I come back, you're either it's both. If I come back, you are going to pay me an astronomical amount of money. Don't hate you for that. But no. I'm also going to be on top, and I'm going to be the focal point of everything. Okay, you got everything that you wanted. You're the focal point of everything. You're the boss. You're on the board.
And you still no-showed WrestleMania.
Where are you?
I was just so lost. John Cena sold his soul to be The Rock's champion, and then The Rock never shows up.
And then you send out Travis Scott? Matt, look.
Literally looked like Travis Scott was a Make-A-Wish person coming down, and we just granted his wish.
That could have been me or anyone else on the front row. Jelly Roll was there. Let him do it.
It was so stupid.
I mean, what are we doing here, man?
Travis Scott got hit with the crossroads. I swore we were going to hear the Rock's music. He was going to come out, even if it was a small distraction. Then Cena low blows him. You didn't even
have to do anything. Just come out and be involved. And if that's the ending that we got, if we got the same exact ending, but The Rock was standing at ringside, we're good.
Yep.
We're good. It's not great, but we're good. We at least are continuing the storyline.
Yeah.
If he comes out tonight on Raw,
I'm going to be pissed. It doesn't make sense because Cena sold his soul for what? He won it on his own. He didn't need to do that.
He didn't need you to win the title. He needed Travis Scott.
We're going to forever say that. And this is going to be
he needed 140-pound rap star?
Yeah, I can't.
What is going on?
Yeah,
what
this
are
was
we
a
doing
fumble.
here?
This was a fumble. And
this makes us look like a couple of nerds. It really does.
I'm okay with it.
For people that, like, if you don't follow it, you're not our people anyway. But, I mean, God, man. The minute that ended on night 2, it was the easiest decision in the world to just turn my TV off and go to sleep. It was the easiest decision in the world because I didn't want to relive that. I'm okay with Cena cheating. I'm okay with Cena giving me a bad match and seeming disinterested. He did say he was going to kill wrestling. So I'm okay with that. Where is the final boss? Yeah. Like I've never, like, it's time to call it what it is. This dude's a douchebag.
Yeah.
That The Rock for a long time has felt like the phony guy who, I'm in it for everybody else. I love my people, all this kind of, hopefully you're smart enough to see through that. It's all about the almighty dollar, and it's all about Dwayne doing what Dwayne wants to do. And
we're the ones who had to suffer.
Yeah, like on behalf of wrestling.
I just want to know what they're going to say whenever Cena comes out and addresses it and The Rock's not there. Are we supposed to, as fans, forget that happened? Like, is that what we're supposed to do?
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
is that the storyline?
I'm not so quick to blame Triple H because I'm convinced that there's no way that's the best you could come up with. Something last minute happened
where Rock just
where he said, "I'm not coming." They were left with their balls in their hand.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do?
I just hope it's addressed and not just left out there.
The interview that he had with Peter Rosenberg on Friday.
Yeah.
Where he said, "I just wish fans would stop criticizing and just be fans." This is a man who knew on Friday what the main event was going to be, and he knew we were about to shit all over it. And that's exactly what, I mean, he knew that was coming. So I'm thinking he got blown off by Dwayne.
He could have, you know what they could have done, just even if he's not going to no-show. You can have some sort of a video quickly made of him talking shit to Cody, and Cody's just looking at the monitor.
If he looks up at the screen and he's distracted, boom, title to the head. Okay. It would have made me mad, but at least it would have connected the dots and you would have had to it would have seemed really lazy, but that's where we are right now.
Now, the fact that you ghosted is worse.
On behalf of wrestling fans everywhere, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And we're done.
Yeah. What's up, guys? This is Willie Ray from the We'll See You Later podcast. We're excited to say, as always, that this episode is brought to you by our friends at Liberton Home Repairs. Liberton Home Repairs right here in Little Rock. Quality home repair service that you can trust. Give them a call at 405-600-8363. That's 405-600-8363 for Liberton Home Repairs. Be sure and tell them that the guys over at the We'll See You Later podcast sent you.
Okay. All right. Now that you're worked up.
Yeah. Nice and worked up. Got a good lather going.
I got a would you rather.
Oh, shit.
I think this is a good one. Would you rather fart in church?
Okay.
And they know it's you?
Okay.
Or would you rather trip and fall in public?
Go to hell. Go to hell. Like we've done this before. Trip and fall in public? I've got cerebral palsy, bro. You've known me. You've pushed me over in public. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Someone messaged me and they said, I got a good one for you guys.
Yeah, got a good one for you and Will. Who was that asshole that wanted you to ask me this question? Who was it? Do I know him?
It was anonymous.
I would have stayed anonymous too. You're a prick, whoever you are. You're a no good prick, and you're not funny. So since I've fallen in public 100 times, 1,000,000 times, are we sure that this is just a fart? Because you literally close the show every week saying don't trust a fart. So, like, am I going to shit myself, or do we know for sure that this is just a fart?
Unknown. Like, you're not.
No, I'm falling. I know I'll get up. I'll fall 1,000,000 times. Hell, this dude has known me since, what, 5th grade?
5th grade.
You've literally pushed me over in public.
I have.
What are we talking about here? Do you think you're funny?
That wasn't me. It was an anonymous question.
Okay, so you never thought about that? Even after the snail thing that we had a couple weeks ago, the snail shit, you never thought about that? Not one time. You're sitting over there going, ha, ha, ha. We're going to ask Will if he'd like to trip and fall in public. Well, no, I've never liked it, but if it came down to shit in my pants, I'll go ahead and fall. You know, like you've seen me fall. I'm an expert faller. I can fall in slow motion. Yeah. One of these days, we're going to be allowed to say the F word, and I'm going to be able to tell people like the person who sent you, I've got a good one for you guys. Will will think it's funny. Yeah. Go to hell. I hope your mother chokes to death.
No. You can't say that. No.
Now you're all listening to it and you're laughing at it.
No, I didn't know. I was going off their question.
Kiss my ass.
I did not. Know. I didn't put them together. I did not put the pieces together.
Yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky that Tammy Wilson loves me. Because if not, I'd reach across there and choke you. I would. And then maybe in the process, I'd trip and fall and we'd get more clicks. You're an asshole. Once again, you're making a habit out of it. Is this going to be like our calling card here?
I don't know.
That Jeremy just says something inappropriate and then the cripple guy goes off.
It depends. This was a question asked by someone who messaged us.
Okay.
If they keep doing it, I might. I don't know.
Be more original going forward. How about, hey, guy that falls all the time, would you rather fall in public or fart in public? Well, I'm going to go with what I know.
He's going down.
The old victimless elbow drop.
It could be a double. What if Will
the old falling fart? Yeah. the old falling fart. Ah! Yeah. We're going to go viral for some dumb shit like this, and then I'm going to have to be the guy who just takes inappropriate shit like this all the time. You people and your anonymous questions are going to drive me to therapy is what you're going to do.
Oh my God.
It's a good thing I'm married. I'd never get laid.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I'm done. I'm crying.
All right, assholes. I'm calling you all assholes because I don't know which fan sent that. I have to assume somebody did it.
It's everyone.
It's one of you people. This is like Clue. I don't trust anyone.
It's just one versus all.
Yeah, I don't trust any of you, and I'll fight you all. I don't care. This has been episode 48. There might be a 49. I haven't decided yet. My co-host is a dick. Jeremy might be here by himself next week.
No.
The We'll See You Later podcast. 3 things to live by. He's going to let me say it this week. Number 1, don't piss into the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Hogs by a million. And number 3, most importantly, never, ever, ever fall and fart. We'll see you later.